Get your special sock out, nerds, because Ryan Reynolds is officially returning as Deadpool in Avengers Doomsday, but he might not be the only one. It's a good thing I wore my white pants today.
Come again? This time in my ears?
But hold up, wait a minute. Y'all thought I was finished? Nah, because we also got little hints and teases at what his role in the story in Doomsday could be. And I'm letting you know right now, it's really gonna shock you, because they left me some crumbs and I'm gonna make a 10-star meal. Either way, me and you know what we gotta do. We gotta talk about it. And boom! Man, you know what? Hold on, let's pause there for a second. $10 says he says, Doom, you looking for this? Man, you know what? Doom, you looking for this? All right, time to pay up. Thank you. But this news comes to us exclusively from The Hollywood Reporter, who revealed that Ryan Reynolds will be reprising his role as Deadpool in Avengers Doomsday. But they also added, don't expect him to join the actual Avengers team though. And I think I know why.
Fuck the Avengers.
I used to pray for times like this, but I'm gonna be honest, this news doesn't really come as a shock. And the reason this isn't really a surprise is because this also makes a whole lot of sense from a business perspective. He was in their last surefire box office hit, so they're going to want to try to pump those numbers up after the 3 movies they released this year have been semi-profitable to just barely breaking even. Because mind you, Deadpool and Wolverine made over $1 billion and it was R-rated too. But another reason this doesn't come as a big surprise either is because Ryan Reynolds literally on Tuesday or Monday teased that he could be potentially returning as Deadpool in Avengers Doomsday, when he simply just posted this image of the Avengers logo with a red Anarchy sign painted on it, which was something that he actually posted last year leading up to the release of Deadpool and Wolverine. And dog, Ryan Reynolds is a smart cat. You think if he posted that, he didn't know what the repercussions would be? He did that with full intentions, knowing that it's going to stir speculation. With as much pop culture references he puts in these fucking movies, you think he didn't know what he was doing with that post? And it was funny because the next day, people that were close to Ryan Reynolds were saying that no, this doesn't mean he's going to be in Avengers. Boy, if you don't get your out of, you lying. That's what we call real quick damage control. So on top of the fact that they're trying to make Doomsday one of the most profitable movies in Marvel Studios history by adding Deadpool and the hints and teases of Ryan Reynolds himself, it's also the fact that we got all of these returning cast members from the OG X-Men films reprising their roles in Doomsday. So you just knew some way, somehow, Deadpool and Wolverine are going to appear in this movie. But I'm going to take it a step further because just the other day, we also got a report that there's going to be a lot of teams in Avengers Doomsday. This was revealed to us from Alex Perez of the Cosmic Circus, who mentioned there's going to be the Avengers, the New Avengers, Fantastic Four. But the two I really want to focus on are Team Loki and Team X-Men. Because when I heard Team Loki, I was like, what do you mean Team Loki? The fucking throne that he's sitting in? The horns he's got? The big horns. That brother is out there in the middle of nowhere holding a fucking multiverse together like Spider-Man and Spider-Man 2 holding a train back. Who the hell is on his team? But then I started thinking about it more, and this has been a popular theory that I've had for a really long time. But I think Loki's gonna be like the MacGuffin of this movie. He's gonna be like what Vision was in Infinity War, the final Infinity Stone, if you will, except this time he's kind of the one holding the entire multiverse together. So if Doom gets to him, he's got the world, the universe, the multiverse at his fingertips, one world under Doom's fist. So I think the quote-unquote Team Loki is actually gonna be people that are defending Loki, and Loki's not actually gonna be a member of the team. And that's where I think Deadpool and Wolverine come in, even though, you know, Hugh Jackman's Wolverine hasn't been announced yet. We all know he's going to be doing this shit till he's 90. Plus, that man is literally repping the set on his damn chest. TVA, I got that on my sleeve, but Wolverine, he's got it on his chest because this is what he breathed. Inhale, exhale. So on top of Deadpool and Wolverine, I think that also means we're going to get the return of some popular TVA agents like Owen Wilson's Mobius. Hopefully, he got his own fucking jet ski he be riding around on. And Hunter B-15, who's probably in a very heated relationship with Peter Pool because he looked damn good in that suit. What the fuck is happening? But I think the TVA is probably going to be catching wind of whatever the fuck Doom got going on, and they realize that he's got them in his sights. So they start pulling the Nick Fury method and say, I'm putting together a team of somewhat remarkable people. Exiled variants. I could definitely see the return of Wesley Snipes' Blade. We already know that Channing Tatum's Gambit is returning.
How long I've been waiting for this. Woo, I'm about to make a name for myself here.
Bring back X-23 and Elektra, fuck it. For all we know, someone like the Cavalrine could be returning too. I mean, the fuck else he got going on? Come over here, Henry. And I also think Thor will be a member of this team because Loki's his brother and he wants to watch the sun rise on them again. It only makes sense for Thor to be a member of the TVA/Team Loki team as well. And I don't know why, but I got a gut feeling that we're going to see the return of both Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield in this movie some way, somehow. And honestly, I'm going to need that just to see what Ryan Reynolds' Deadpool got to say to them face to face. We really might finally be getting that Team Red in live action. So with all of the exiled variants and our mainline Thor, I think they're going to be the team that's trying to hold down the fort and protect Loki. And that's when we'll finally find out why Thor was crying. It's crazy. Deadpool and Wolverine really gave us our first scene of Avengers Doomsday. It only makes sense because every single time this man would get knocked out and would wake up in Deadpool Wolverine, he would say, Thor, God of Thunder. So you can bet your bottom dollar that he's going to be sacrificing himself for the greater good. But that also makes me wonder if this X-Men team is going to play a factor into that Exile variant team, or if it's going to be different, because we do know that Channing Tatum's Gambit is returning, but they didn't specify if he was a part of this X-Men team or if he's going to be teaming up with Deadpool. And by the way, I think we know there's going to be more X-Men members announced too, because all we got was Rebecca Romijn as the only female X-Men character returning. Like, where the fuck is Halle Berry? Where the hell is Jean Grey? Regardless, I still think they're in the universe at the end of the Marvels where we see Beast and Binary, because we know there's a professor still alive there, because Beast says, I'm gonna go tell the professor. So we know it's not Earth 838, because that Charles Xavier got by Mommy Wonder. And my personal theory is that that X-Men universe from the Marvels post-credit scene is the same universe / timeline from the end of Days of Future Past, because everyone is alive, everything's all good, even the lighting in this damn moment is perfect. So it would only make sense if it was like an X-Men universe that is like perfect beyond belief. But it ain't gonna be perfect for long, because I bet Doom's plans are gonna ruin it. I'm sure there's gonna be some type of incursion happening with Monica Rambeau being in that universe. And I've said this ad nauseum 1,000 million times. You guys can go back to all my previous videos with all my other theories. I'm pretty sure Doom is gonna have the same savior complex that Tony Stark had in the MCU. Only he's gonna be a lot more narcissistic about it and be like, I'm the hero because I did that shit. Doom, me, not you. And step one is kidnapping one of the most powerful Marvel characters of all time, and Franklin Richards. By the way, why is Franklin blonde? Are they going to combine Franklin and Valeria in the MCU? But on top of that, we know that Doom himself is going to get his own damn team. Probably not just the Doom and the Doomettes, but he's going to manipulate shit into his own hands. And he'll probably get some members of the X-Men, some members of the Avengers on his side. Because Doom's going to present them with a solution to this universe, multiverse ending problem. A battle world where I get to be the ruler, but you get to live still. So on top of Loki being the MacGuffin of this movie and him needing to sit on that throne to have the entire power of the multiverse at his hands, I think he's gonna get other characters like Namor, Magneto, Bob/Sentry/The Void on his side, because he knows how to manipulate molecules. And I think the entirety of Avengers Doomsday is going to be a race to get to Loki at the tree of Yggdrasil. Because mind you, God Emperor Doom needs a throne. And in the Secret Wars comics, his throne is the tree of Yggdrasil. And who's currently occupying his throne? Now, this next piece of news isn't a theory, it's a rumor that I'm having trouble seeing as a possibility, but it is interesting and compelling if they actually go this route. And that's the fact that Doom's motivations are all tied to the fact that Steve Rogers fucked up the timelines. There's a rumor stating that the reason Doom wants to do what he does is because this version of Steve Rogers caused an incursion that caused his world to die. So he really just a petty king for real. But this doesn't make sense because in Loki, the TVA mentions that everything the Avengers did in Avengers Endgame was supposed to happen. But I mean, they could just retcon that to try to make this more compelling, because we've been known that Haley Atwell was going to be returning as Peggy Carter and Chris Evans was going to be returning in Doomsday 2. And I mean, he ain't really hard to get nowadays. He'd be fucking showing up in everything. But I think that could be very interesting. So that means they'd be pivoting from a Reed Victor Von Doom to a Tony Stark lookalike Victor Von Doom versus Steve Rogers. I don't know. It sounds like they're just throwing shit at the wall at this point. I'm gonna be honest with you. I just hope something sticks. Honestly, hoping that shit is just not true. But we do know that Tatiana Maslany is returning as She-Hulk in Doomsday, so I'm gonna need Deadpool and She-Hulk to go fourth wall break for fourth wall break. Who can farm the most? And he's like, what the fuck are you doing? This is my shit. But I'm not gonna hold you. I don't care what you think about She-Hulk the show. She broke the fourth wall better than him. So I'm gonna need Deadpool to double that shit and pass it to the next person. And I know what a lot of people are thinking, like, how would Deadpool work in PG-13? And I'm telling you right now, they could use that to their advantage for some great jokes. In a PG-13 movie, I think you're allowed to say the F word like once or twice. I think it would be funny if Deadpool uses it, and then once he uses it, he loses it, and then he starts getting bleeped with every other cuss word that he says, and he's like, what the? And they keep bleeping it, but he's aware of it. That could be really funny. But yeah, I hope you're wearing your brown pants too, because Deadpool is officially returning in Doomsday. But that's all the new news and updates we got. My thoughts, theories, and opinions. Let me know what you think about all of this down in the comments below. And as always, like and follow for more.